Hello, here we are with part 3 of our garden video in September. Go ahead, Bruce, let us know about your cistern.
Okay, this is the basic cistern system we have, which supplies water for the garden area. First we have is the basic way that we get the water off the top of the roof, which is we have, in this particular case, coming off of the back building we have here. All of our buildings have these kinds of downspouts that allow the water to get to our cistern just through gravity. We have 3 buildings, and so it amounts to a fair amount of water, about 800 gallons per inch of water that it rains. The water moves downhill and goes into our cistern area, which there are 2 heads here. They look like a septic system, but basically there's about 5,300 gallons of water that can accumulate in these cisterns. It has a standard pump system, which is this right here, that looks like about the same as you would have if you have a well. And it has a submersible pump, and it pumps the water to a couple main spigots. I've welded this little top roof here, which is nice because it folds back, and you can work on this very simply, or you just lift it off. Anyway, that's basically how that works. And then we go back into the garden. Now, as far as drip systems go, you'll probably note that even along the side here we have drip systems with standards coming up here, just so we have drip anywhere. As we go into the main garden, this is not part of the drip system. This is fresh water out of the well.
Keep going.
Okay, we're getting pictures of the guineas as they come by.
Curious birds.
This whole area is controlled drip, and this is a manifold. This outlet right here basically basically comes out of the cistern system, and then we have spigots which go out into the garden, and this is just a simple manifold which allows 4 different zones to be set up with 4 different sets of water. And I just basically cover it over with a plastic container just to give it a little thing. It can sit out in the rain, but I just give it a little bit of help. Anyway, each one of the beds is underground, and you can see where the PVC comes out, and then the system goes out into the system. Each one of these beds has that. Each one of these plants and pot have it. Even the berries on the ends have it. So basically that's how the system works, is each area has its own particular timing, so that for beds and tomatoes and that kind of thing, and then we have vegetation over here in different areas. So each area can have its own zone. The very, very, very back area with all the berries and that gets a little bit more water, so it has its own zone. 4 zones totaling. So that's basically how the cistern works. Basically, we do everything off of rainfall water that comes into this garden. Everything's probably just about pooping out as September. We're going to be planting in winter crops, and then we'll let it lay dormant for part of the winter. But that's pretty much how the cistern works in this area.